Hey, building service contractors, Jordan Tong here with Elite Business Coaching, dedicated to helping janitorial contractors scale up and grow their businesses. So, we are all very familiar with the ACA law, the Affordable Care Act, and all of its implications. The thing has been in the works for several years now, and love it or hate it, regardless of the side of the political spectrum that you fall on, where we sit now in our businesses running our BSCs, it does affect us. And there are some things that we need to know. And I don't want to belabor a lot of the things that we probably already know, nitty-gritty about the plan, but there are some things about the plan that you need to know. And as you think about growing your business, there are some things about how the law works that really would affect your strategy going forward, and specifically some of the costs that you may or may not bear. And as you grow, this could be a huge savings for you or a huge expense depending on how this plays out for you. So I wanted to offer a tidbit of information, and it's something that we are doing at our company now that is helping us save money, but also serving our employees well and complying with the law as it stands. So a little bit of background before I tell you what that is. So there's two essential things you need to understand about healthcare plans as it pertains to the law. There's essentially two things, two types of plans that are defined. One is a MEC plan, or a minimum essential coverage, and an MVP plan, which is a minimum value plan. And the MEC plan is essentially preventative coverage. It offers the minimum amount of coverage that deemed under the law, which is essentially preventative care. Minimum value plans are what they call meaningful coverage, or major medical plans. These are things that cover not only preventative care, but also major medical expenses such as surgeries or major treatments or pregnancies, or even some of the more controversial things that you've seen come down the pike. Now, from an employer standpoint, here's what you need to know. You, at a very minimum, if you meet the requirements where the law applies to you in terms of number of employees, you have to offer both MEC and MVP plans, or an MVP plan, which would include the MEC provisions in it. In addition to that, you have to make the plan affordable, which means that you have to offer a plan where the employee doesn't pay more than about 9.5% of their adjusted gross income. Now, for you as an employer, this can be a big expense. So for a full-time employee, this essentially raises the cost of that employee by somewhere in the neighborhood of 12-13%, which essentially could, if all of your employees had to go on health insurance now provided by the company, and you had to make that affordable, it could cost you, it could raise your total expenses by 8-9%, which obviously we can't afford to let that happen if all other things are being equal. However, here's the thing that you need to know, and this is where you can really work with the law in order to serve your people, be compliant, and also save money. The employer, if they don't comply with their provisions of the plan or their responsibilities, there's hefty penalties that are applied, and they're in the range of $2,000 to $3,000 per employee at your company. And however, the employee as an individual is not required to have an MVP plan for them to not be penalized. They are only required to have a MEC plan, which means that you have to offer an MVP plan as an employer. However, the employee only needs MEC coverage to not fall under the penalty, so they wouldn't be penalized if they had a MEC plan. So if you as a company offer both an MVP plan and a carve-out MEC plan, and these MEC plans are usually really cheap, I mean, $20 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month, something very affordable that the employee bears all of the cost. The employee can have some amount of coverage, not be penalized, and the company is doing its part in offering that, and so they don't bear any penalty as well. So at our company, once we started offering carve-out MEC plans, many of our employees, it was just the best scenario for them, given their financial situation, to accept a MEC plan. So we were able to save a significant amount of money, be compliant with the law, serve our employees well, and give ourselves a sure footing upon which to grow going forward. It helped mitigate some of the potential expenses we would have incurred with offering MVP plans to everyone, but also allowed our employees to avoid the penalty that they may have incurred. So it is a must for you to have MEC plans and to offer that. The BSCI has some vendor partners that they're working with, and you can get plans through them. Also, your insurance carriers can help you with that. I think it's a part of your strategy you need to have, and if you're getting to that threshold where you're starting to have to comply with the ACA laws, you need to be thinking about MEC plans and how they should be incorporated in your business. Good luck with that. If there's anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.